Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is, of course, City Skylines 2 with me, Emery, and the city of Ringholm. Last week, we got three new content creator packs, one containing a couple of leisure buildings, quite a lot actually, and one containing Mediterranean style building, and the last one called Dragon Gate, containing a lot of Chinese inspired buildings. So for today, we'll take a small break from expanding Newport, as you can see here, to look at the new content creator packs, and we'll start with the Dragon Gate one, so we can give Ringholm its own small Chinatown. I did actually off cam put down a subway station here in the Central area next to Ringholm station. This will, of course, be connected to Newport. We'll build the tracks coming down something like this, then to continue over the water towards this area right here. And for this small island right here, I'm thinking it will probably look a lot like Old Town, but we'll add the new Mediterranean style buildings to this area. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something nice, but I do think that the Mediterranean style buildings are mainly residential. So we'll add, of course, a lot of French and probably German buildings as well to get some commercial into this area. For the new Chinatown, I think we'll use this area up here. I think that will look good. It has access to the subway as well. So let's start with that. The idea is that the subway will branch off, come to both sides of Chinatown, where the first line is going to be brought down here, then curve down, and we'll have a nice station somewhere around here. So let's start by building a road, temporary road, so we can get a feel where we're going to have the first station. The stations are going to be fairly close to each other. That's just the way it is sometimes in these downtown areas. We've put down the first station. Let's just extend the road a little bit here. Or actually, let's add some parking instead. Let's do a one-way road with parking. I do actually love this new parking system in City Skylines. This is great. So let's add some parking, of course, not overdoing it. There will be no road access to the other side of the station. We'll only have pedestrian access, as I'm thinking we'll build a park on that side. But for now, let's continue with the station itself. The first line has now been connected, so let's connect the other line. But the question is, do we want them using the same tracks over here, or do we want to give them separate tracks? Let's explore both options. Okay, that didn't go very well. Let's remove that one. Try again. Let's see if we can these tracks right here. Okay, Okay, that looks why does it do that? So let's just remove that one and just add the crossing separately. Okay, there we go. So should they be separate or connect? Let's bring this all the way over here. I think we'll go for separate, but we'll keep that crossing there just in case. We could also add another crossing if we so choose so. Let's just also fix the grading here. Move it. Let's just rise this up. I'm planning actually on building a small man-made island in the middle here to kind of support the tracks. To make the island, we're just quickly gonna drag out some land like this. And then we're gonna take the pedestrian roads if I can find them. I'm never good at finding things in this game, and especially not with these new icons that they implemented. But anyway, let's see. There we go. Place down some pedestrian paths, making sure that the key wall is on one side. Doesn't need to be perfect. We'll probably also add some pedestrian bridges so that people can walk over to this island and then continue over to Chinatown. So the man-made island is complete with a nice bridge. The only sad thing is when you connect a path to a road, the railing will not disappear. But it will work. The people will walk through it. It just doesn't look very nice, but it will work. Let's go back to the station. We'll do this in the same style as Newport, which means that we'll use walls to build the station in. Walls have been placed all around the station. It is a little bit fiddly doing so, but the end result is absolutely worth it. We're trying to change the station roof, or the color at least. I'm thinking a nice red, as we are in Chinatown. So I think red would be very fitting. I would preferably like the outer walls of the station to be able to be changed as well. I mean, just imagine having these walls red. Sadly, that is not an option, so the next thing we want to do, though, is address the road network and prepare for the incoming tram. So let's just move this bridge over to the left a little bit. All done. We move the bridge a little bit. We also move the outer highway and prepared for the incoming tram. If you remember, I did want this side to be a park. So what we'll do now is prepare for the upcoming park by building another path with, of course, key walls on one side. The outline of the park is done. I have to say it looks pretty well, and I think it's going to look awesome when it's done. It's not going to be though for a while, but I do want to add the bridge connecting Central to Chinatown before we continue. Another key wall has been added alongside the highway, looking all nice, and it's time to focus on the road networks in Chinatown itself. On the opposite side of the station, that is not the park, I'm thinking I'm gonna build the new shrine that came with the Dragon Gate pack. But first, let's add some roads. For the moment, though, there's only two ways entering Chinatown, and it's either through the highway or from the small island to the right. A third way if you're counting the pedestrian bridge coming in from Central. So let's add another road into Chinatown. And I'm thinking we should have one coming in from the Central area up here. We'll probably look at extending this road just beneath the tram depot. So let's do that. So what I've done here is actually prepare for a small rail yard just outside the main station, but that is a project for the future. We've also added this lovely old style bridge. So let's connect that one to the highway. We'll use the normal 4-lane road for this. And with that connection done, it's time to start with the main road going through Chinatown. We'll continue with the 4-lane roads that we've used before. Let's try to get a 90-degree angle towards the highway if we can. Here we are. I'm not sure if we'll continue this highway over the canal or if we will go left towards the bridge. We are almost done, so that we can start with the buildings, but we'll just add a little bit more roads before we do so. My vision for Chinatown is a lot of compact neighborhoods where the houses are very, very close to each other. Finally, we are able to start with the buildings from the Dragon Gate pack. These buildings are very well made. They look very good. As you can see, I did build the signature building there, the hotel. It is very, very large, so I'm not sure if I want to keep it, but for now it will stay there. As I said, I want to build very compact with these buildings. Sadly, these are only commercial, which means that if we want to have some residential, which we want, we'll do some other buildings than those. I do like the green roofs on these. We might change that with recolor, but for now, let's continue with the green roofs and let's just put as many of these down as possible. The first row of houses are done, and look at the detail all around these houses, looking amazing. We did use recolors so that we could get the same roof very easily on all of them, the same color. Now let's put an alley behind these buildings so we can add even more buildings tightly together. As I said before, we do want some, at least, residential buildings in Chinatown, and it's been really difficult, I think, to find buildings that I do think fit. Even in the China pack, I want something with nice sloping roofs that won't be too high or too low. But these European ones will do for now, or if it's the UK ones, they will do. Yeah, hopefully we'll find something better in the future. Along the highway, I think it would be suitable to build some kind of fence. So let's build one right here. I've chosen this one. I think it suits the buildings in the back very, very well. Just finishing off the last piece of fence here, and as you can see, sometimes or often you get the different colors in fence. So I would like that in the future, when you connect fences together, you get the same fence color at least, because it's very annoying have to guess and draw like 100 fences and then finally you get the fence color that you want. In this case, you can see we were very lucky. All done. For this road here, and actually for any road going into Chinatown, I do want the new parks that came with the Dragon Gate pack, which is the Chinese gates. I think they look very, very nice. And if we can have one of these gates welcoming you in on every road that goes into Chinatown, I think it will look very, very amazing. Um, it's just a matter of finding it. Again, I'm not good at finding things in this game. It should be, oh, there they are. Let's just place them down. I'm having a bit of difficulties right now with snapping it to the road. They do actually, as I said, snap to the road, but we'll just move it for this case and move this into place. And let's just get it in the correct angle. Again, it's a bit difficult. I'm moving this back and forth because when you place these, it can be a bit difficult to move it to select them, and you don't want to move the entire road by mistake. Bit annoying. But I think something like that looks very nice. Again, welcoming you in to Chinatown. Very, very nice indeed. For the alleyways in between the buildings, I'm thinking we'll go with a nice red surface here, some nice red bricks. And opposite the station, as mentioned before, I want to have the shrine. The shrine is right here, so let's just move it into position. I think that we want something like this in the middle. There is no road access, so we will have to give it road access. We'll just copy this road right here and add a little bit of a parking just in front of the building. Some parking has been added and the shrine is now situated perfectly in front of the subway station. Looking at it like this, the left side looks good. The right side, that big mammoth building of an hotel doesn't really look good to me. So I'm gonna remove that one and we'll do the right side up as we did with the left one. The right side is coming along very well so far. It is exactly as I imagined a very cramped and bustling Chinatown to be. Let's just change the last couple of buildings on this block here to the green. So far, so good, I have to say. Looking really good. I'm happy with this. One thing though is I want to change the color of the subway roof. It is red, but I'm thinking now that we have a lot of green roofs here, I want to find a green, nice color that kind of matches the other roofs in the area. It's a bit tricky maybe, but I think with some tuning we should be able to find something that... Oh, there we are. There we are. Now it really blends in a lot better, I have to say. I'm not sure how big this Chinatown will be in the end. It depends on if we can get any residential in. But yeah, so far so good. While looking at this street right here, I think it would be fitting if we upgrade it to have some parking. Because the street is quite narrow, we're only going to have parking or room for parking on one side of the street. That means that the street itself is going to be a one-way street. I am okay with that. Let's continue the upgrade alongside the track here, and then let's connect these two roads up if we can get a nice curve that is. Let's see here, maybe a bit more gentle, something like that. And that I think looks very good. We do now have another block ready for more of these Chinese commercial buildings. And as with the other side, we added this lovely red shade of breakdown. And apparently I choose the wrong shade, but that's okay for the moment. As you can see, there is still room for some decorations in both these blocks. We'll of course add a lot of greenery to them as we usually do, but we'll do that later. At this point in time, I think it is important for us to decide how big Chinatown is going to be. I think at least it could be doubled in size. And as we planned earlier, the town or the district will be surrounded by subway tracks on both sides. So when we get the tracks down, we know exactly how much space we got to play with. While putting down the pedestrian path, I got a little bit sidetracked because I wasn't sure what to put between these tracks, and I remember these single family home detached housing from the Chinese pack. They will do very fine here, they will work very well. And we do actually not have any detached housing in the city itself. The closest ones is actually out in Chestham, and that is some distance from the city center itself. So let's add a couple of these houses down before we continue with the expansion of the subway network. Ladies and gentlemen, time does really fly sometimes when playing this game. I think I've spent around 3 hours so far doing this, and that is insane. But I'm thinking that we have had a really good start of Chinatown, a lot of low, compact buildings, exactly what I was planning. But with some detailing, this is gonna look excellent. I'm pretty sure of that. But that is something that we have to continue with in the next episode. As always, please, if you like this work so far or this episode, please give it a like or comment or subscribe, whatever you feel like. And as always, thank you very much for watching and do have a good one.